Now, there's always been this dispute between lovers of fizzy drinks. Which is better, Pepsi or Coca-Cola? Quite frankly, I prefer Pepsi, but what makes me side more with Pepsi is the fact that they have their very own superhero. Introducing Pepsi Man. And no, I don't see Coca-Cola bringing out their very own Coke Man anytime soon. It just doesn't sound right to me. Now, Pepsi Man is an official mascot of Pepsi and was created by the Japanese corporate branch of the company in the mid-1990s. His main role in advertisements was to appear with Pepsi to thirsty people at just the right time. After delivering the product to the thirsty individual, Pepsi Man would often get himself into some sort of difficult situation that resulted in him being injured. Now this is where we start talking about games. Pepsi believed that Pepsi Man was so great that in 1999 he deserved his very own video game on the PlayStation 1. And so Pepsi enlisted the help of Japanese game developer Kindle Imagine Develop to create such a game. The game is separated into 4 stages, each consisting of 2 scenes and 1 boss. At the start of every level, Pepsi Man is seen talking to a distressed individual about a certain problem that always ends with our thirst-quenching saviour having to quench someone's thirst. And so it begins. You, as Pepsi Man, have to get to your set location in the time limit. The gameplay is entirely on rails. You only control Pepsi Man by moving him left or right, as well as by sprinting, jumping or sliding to scale or slip under various hazards. And there will be a lot of hazards. Whilst you're avoiding these nuisances, you're also tasked with collecting Pepsi cans that are scattered along the ground in your path. These add to your overall end scene score, but also heal Pepsi Man if he takes any damage. Now I don't know what Pepsi Man has done to deserve so much hate, but he must have done something awfully terrible for everyone and everything he meets to want to murder him. You'll encounter trucks dropping furniture towards you, an angry biker gang, people trying to run you over, builders deliberately swinging their wood at you, and even packs of angry bulls. However, nothing is more ridiculous than the boss fights. Pepsi Man, once he has saved the world from dying of dehydration, much like in the adverts, will get himself into a rather strange and harmful situation, such as being chased by a giant can of Pepsi or a demented pile of logs. As Pepsi Man, you will have to evade obstacles that present themselves in an Indiana Jones boulder-rolling-esque race for survival, in which you can only take 3 mistakes before you're flattened. There are a good selection of settings for each level, ranging from a Pepsi sorting facility, to Pepsi City, to the end of the bloody world. And that makes the game more fun to play, as surprisingly it isn't that bad of a title for something that's just a marketing tool. As a member of the on-rails jumpy slidey genre of games, it does exactly what all the other jumpy slidey games do, make me furiously mad. But it cleverly uses my anger to make me overjoyed when I actually make it past a tough section. And you will encounter tough sections. Unless you're an MLG pro at jumpy slidey games, the difficulty of each level will increase from fairly okay to fucking annoying. That's the appeal of jumpy slidey games, right? If they weren't all about trying to beat the level over and over again, you could complete them in no time at all. The rage is just the jumpy slidey gamer's heroin that will soon make them think they're in heaven when they finally beat the level. However, there are some problems with the game, naturally. The sounds used in the game are bloody terrible. For instance, the sound produced when Pepsi Man fires Pepsi into people, at least I think that's what he's doing, it sounds like one of the developers of the game just said, "Oh, I'll just make a really shitty gun sound while one of you pretends to orgasm while I do it." And look at the poor choice of animation for that Pepsi pouring down the screen. Because everyone wants to look at a brown pixelated liquidy screen, right? Right? The game will typically take you about 2 to 3 hours. If you suck hard, it will take longer, of course. Once you complete the 4 stages of the game, it unlocks a free play mode in which you can attempt to make yourself even angrier by playing the levels again to beat your previous time and Pepsi can obtainment record. I think it's fairly obvious why hardly anyone bought and played this game, but I can guarantee that those who did are sitting with a smug smile on their faces because they know they have a gem of a game. But in all honesty, from a fan of games that aren't this, I found Pepsi Man to be a pleasant, albeit infuriating experience, which is what I look for in this genre of gaming. It's got a quirky charm to it that makes it one of these games that sounds terrible, but is in fact a fairly good title. You'll probably end up hating Pepsi Man more than the residents of Pepsi World though. When you start playing the game, you'll think it sucks ass, but a couple of minutes in, you'll be bitten by the Pepsi bug, and you'll find yourself completely and utterly addicted. Pepsi Man enjoys skating, drinking Pepsi, putting bins on his head, riding hover pads, and I like Pepsi Man.